Hello everyone and welcome to our latest Whirlwind Heights forecast and our update. We're talking about flooding today, which is a third high risk of flooding day in a row. We're talking about the tropical storm in the Pacific Ocean, Tropical Storm Aletta, and we're also going to talk about the upcoming severe weather and heat. I'm also going to talk about something dangerous, which is the wildfire smoke that is coming over the northeast right now. And not only that, I have something to announce in this video, and it's a very big announcement to this channel. But before we talk about that, let's just roll the forecast. Alright guys, I'm going to go over our SPC outlook, which is not much I'm going to say, but there are a couple slight risk of severe weather. There is a 2% tornado threat for Texas here, where we could see a few isolated tornadoes. Damaging winds, got 5% here in the Rockies, 5% here in northeastern North Dakota and northern Minnesota. There's a slight risk for damaging winds here in Maine, but honestly, I think this is going to underperform due to the smoke, and then a wind risk for the mid-Atlantic. We're also hail, usually 15% hail risk over here, driving that slight risk here in the Rockies, and another hail risk for northeastern North Dakota and northern Minnesota. Alright, and then our day 2 outlook is not much. Our tornado risk does exist. It's up here for the peninsula of Michigan, northeastern Minnesota, and northern Wisconsin. Our damaging wind outlook is a 5% wind risk for the Rockies, the same place that's dealing with severe weather today, as well as the northern area, the Great Lakes region here. And in hail, the same areas here, basically, that are dealing with damaging winds. And then our day 3 outlook, we have a big slight risk of severe weather, and honestly, this is a little bit concerning. We could see some severe weather here across the mid-Atlantic and Ohio Valley, as well as a bit of the northeast, and perhaps a couple of tornadoes. Obviously, are probabilistic. That's day 3, and then we have another slight risk of severe weather for our day 4 outlook for South Carolina, North Carolina, and Southern Virginia. So get ready for that, and I mean, there's a potential of that becoming a bigger concern, of that becoming an enhanced risk or something. And there's no more outlooks after that, obviously. So let's just go to our temperatures. Or before I do that, let me go over excessive rainfall, because we have an excessive rainfall outlook of a high risk right now for Texas for the 3rd day in a row, specifically southern Texas, including Del Rio, Rock Springs, Junction, Uvalde, Kerrville. And guys, this area has been under a high risk for like 3 days. It's actually insane. And there's also a moderate risk for southern Arizona due to monsoon season. So guys, get ready. We do got flooding on the way. And then day 2, so tomorrow, there's a slight risk for the southwest. And day 3, basically the same. And alright, let's go to our day 4, which is a marginal threat, and day 5. So yeah. It's not going to be super concerning after today, as of right now, according to these outlooks. Let's now go over the elevated fire risk, which there's 2 of them. One today for northeastern California, southern Oregon, and another for about central California on the coast, and our day 2 outlook in the same areas as this outlook for today. Those same areas are dealing with a fire risk tomorrow, but generally our fire risk is pretty low. Now let's go over this tropical activity in the Pacific Ocean. Show on satellite. Alright, and here's your tropical storm Aletta, which is right now at 58 miles per hour. You can see a little eye developing. It's very organized. And this is saying that it's not going to become a Category 2. I honestly wouldn't rule that out, but as of right now, it looks like it's going to stay at Category 1. But right now, tropical storm, and it's going to intensify to a hurricane tomorrow morning. And it's going to be a hurricane until about, it's going to stay a hurricane through July 19th morning, and then by July 20th, this is showing that it's going to be downgraded to a tropical storm. But we'll see how this situation evolves, and we're going to continue to track it. But the other Pacific outlook is right now a 30% in the next 48 hours the low, and it's 30% in the next week the low. But tropical activity in the Atlantic Ocean is getting active. We do have a tropical disturbance here from northern Florida, which is our risk of developing in the next 2 days. Our 48 hours is non-existent. In the next week, 20%. So generally low, but not zero. And apparently this could become some sort of like hurricane off the coast of the Carolinas, but we gotta see when that happens. And then there's a small risk of development out here west of Africa. But generally, as you can see, 10% in the next 48 hours, 10% in the next week. So generally, it's a low risk of developing. Alright, so now let's go over and I want to first go to the GFS because something interesting could happen in the Pacific Ocean. We've been talking about this for days, and it put me in a weird spot. Where is it? Where the heck is the GFS? GFS is global. Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna go to our 300 millbar winds. And as you can see, this is the hurricane that's developing right now in the Pacific Ocean. Once this loads here. And as you can see, yeah. So as you can see, that's generally not your general hurricane, which on the GFS is a slightly different path from what this is showing. But as you can see, we also have a 10% chance of development in the next 2 days, 90% chance of development within the next week. So there's a high risk that we could literally see another tropical storm and perhaps a hurricane literally form in the same area, like literally the same path as the tropical storm we're seeing right now. And then the GFS, which this is long term, so I mean this is not verifying, but the GFS is literally showing 3 hurricanes nearly taking the exact same path over the next few weeks. Which, if this actually happens, which again it's long term, so we don't know, but if this actually were to be the case, that would be insane. That would be one of the wildest things I'd ever seen in my entire life. Like, I mean, I'm not even joking. That'd be extremely rare. But again, this was long term. But what we do know is that it's looking like 2 tropical disturbances are going to take along almost the same exact path. And the GFS is showing 3 of those taking the exact same path. Going to the jet stream here in the United States, as you can see right now, we do have a ridge that has developed. But like we're going to see northerly and northwesterly flow, which is going to ignite some severe weather over the next week. So, which is why we have that slight risk on our day 3 outlook. So for Saturday, and this is just going to keep flowing in and causing severe weather across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Northeast. I want to go over our temperatures now, because we do have a bit of temperatures across the United States. And for this, I'm actually going to go to NAM here. Not Icon. I used to use this NAM, because when it comes to temperatures, the NAM is personally my favorite. And we're going to see when this loads. Okay, it's coming up. Alright, over the next few days, again, we're going to see some temperatures, like in the Carolinas, it's going to get very hot. Otherwise, across the general United States, it's gonna stay, I mean, it's going to get pretty hot, but, like, it's not going to be anything, like, extreme. We're probably, maybe, but temperatures can go up to the 100s in isolated spots. I mean, it's still a bit of a heat. It's still pretty hot. Like, in the Carolinas, it's getting extreme. I mean, as you can see, temperatures up to 108 or 106, maybe even higher than that. So yeah, it's gonna get pretty hot in the Carolinas, and then it could also get very hot here in South Dakota. Temperatures up to 105 degrees here. Cannot be ruled out. And guys, that'll be the end of today's forecast. And before I do that, before I end this forecast, I want to say that we have officially hit 100 subscribers. I want to say I appreciate the support. Without God, without Jesus, I would not have been able to reach this milestone. And the growth of the channel recently has just been insane. And you guys never had to subscribe, so I want to say thank you for the support. And we'll see you guys in the next one.